how did you discover coding? When did you start? Like, what was your journey from the beginning?
Yeah, so I studied engineering in undergrad, and there was a small coding component to it, but it wasn't super stressed. And it was something that I kind of sought out on my own, just knowing that software is like a big deal and would likely be a big part of my career. So I did take a couple classes in undergrad, more in like software engineering, but I'd say that my bulk of my experience was from my first job. I was working at a company called Verisk Analytics. They're in the insurance industry, and I was mostly programming in SQL to start, mostly doing like business reporting for management and like pulling reports and like doing analyses in SQL. But then there was also an opportunity for me to learn Python and do a lot of that analysis in like pandas and do a little bit more than what you can do in just SQL. So for instance, like automating reports that were being manually created in like Microsoft Word and Excel, just like automating workflows for folks, and then also doing more like statistical analyses that you couldn't do just in plain SQL. And I was really keen on getting that experience. So I'd like tried to put myself in that position where I was coding more in Python than in SQL, kind of with the goal of breaking into data science, where I knew that Python was like definitely a skill that would be required.
What's your coding journey? How did you discover coding? How did you start coding?
Yeah, when I started university, my major was actually in industrial engineering. I didn't go into a major that was focused on coding or software development. I got into software development because of this one class, actually. I took this one class, and it was this entry-level software development class. It was computer science. It was basically the 101 of computer science, and it really got me hooked. And it was because the class was engaging, and it had a lot of fun problems to solve, and it really piqued my interest. So I transferred into the computer science degree in my second year. And ever since I've been doing computer science related jobs and work and study as well. So I did my bachelor's and my master's in computer science.
How did you discover coding? How did you start coding?
So my coding journey goes back to my times in economics. I did my master program in economics, and I was very interested in statistics and econometrics, which is like one specific area inside economics. And it requires a lot of statistical modeling. You have to run a lot of different regression models. I mostly ran regression models. And after the university, I kept working in this area. I worked in the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. So I worked in econometrics, and econometricians, they use a very interesting software called Stata to run different statistical models. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I got more and more involved in how to actually code there. And with this, so soon this different and new world opened up for me. I learned that actually you cannot only use Stata, but there is like R or Python out there to do different kind of modelings. And then also, like, it opened this whole world of data science to me. So for me, actually, the thing that drove me into coding was not coding itself, but the different applications. That I understood that if I learn this skill and have this knowledge, then I can understand much more topics, like I can go much more deep in different analyses and understand the data that I have on hands better. So from this like Stata econometrics world, I started to learn first Python. I took some Python courses, both online and in person, for different applications. I got really, really into text mining first and gained some knowledge there, and then just like broaden my interest and my skills to learn different aspects of coding. But for me, it was always the application.
Wow, that's really amazing that you understood the wider application first and then realized that coding was a means to achieve all of these different things. Because maybe, for some people, they just hear about coding, they think it's something they should learn, so then they go straight into the details of which language they should focus on or what framework. So that's, I think, that must have been a very inspiring journey for you.
No, for me, absolutely. And I think it's also, so when we talk about data science and like data people that are coding, I really see that there are a lot of different profiles out there. So you have those that are coming from, for example, a very strong engineering or technical background, very strong coding skill. And then there are also more like my profile that comes more from an application oriented or application focused background, and then picked up the engineering and coding skills on the way. And I think it's good if you have both of them, and then you can combine, and everyone can learn from the other.
How did you discover coding? How did you start learning how to code?
I wouldn't even say I really discovered coding. I basically was very much interested in doing something in the area of sports. So I originally wanted to do something like sports management, but then realized, sports analytics would be something really cool to study. I basically came from the stats point of view. I studied economics, didn't enjoy it that much, but the stats classes I did enjoy. And then trying to combine that with sports, I found sports analytics, then found data science, and through data science I learned how to code.